Well, GM, G,
Tuda.
M. Great morning, my friends, DJs, Diamond Hand fam, Forge and Fuel crew, super soldiers, one percenters, pioneers, pivoters, pursuers, builders, brothers and sisters, hermanos y hermanas, mamas y papas, anyone I may have left out and anyone in between. Welcome back and welcome into the best way to start your day. It's time to get fired up at Forge and Fuel, baby. I am your humbled, honored, and clearly always hyped host, Colton Capp Swirl One, and I can't thank you enough for choosing to stop by, hang out with me and my guys, and dive down some inspirational and motivational rabbit holes unlike any other. Now, we got one hell of a show on tap for you here today. It's a Friday. We made it through another week, baby. And if you haven't checked your calendar yet this morning, it is October the 11th, 2024, and I hope you're ready to wake up like never before, because we got conversations ready to get flowing. We got thoughts ready to get sparked. We got triggers ready to get tripped, and I'm going to tell you what, once we get through this show here this morning, you're going to be ready to bust through those barriers, turn those obstacles into opportunities. What you thought was going to be a loss, just a new lesson, and what you thought was going to be a failure, a brand new chance to flourish. Wow, if we could accomplish that in a show, boy, oh boy, we're doing our jobs, and I think we got it. You might laugh, you might cry, you might think, who's to say, who's to know? And speaking of, if this show makes you do that, if it makes you go, I ain't never thought of it that way before. Hey, them two cats got some pretty good perspective. Well, if you think that, then maybe you could take a quick second too. Smash that subscribe button on whatever platform you're currently ingesting the Forge and Fuel podcast on. If you are watching on YouTube, you might as well hit that notification bell down there as well, so you never miss the start of a live show or any other content dropping from the Diamond Hand Media Group. If you're watching on X, you might as well hit that like, hit that repost as well. Hell, even hit the quote post. Let the people know why you're tuning in to Forge and Fuel this morning. If you're watching on Facebook, hit that like, hit that share. Let those people know over there on the Book of the Face variety. Or
if you're listening to this show on your favorite podcast directory like Spotify or Apple Music, maybe you could hit follow right here now, live in prime time, or maybe even that 5-star review. We certainly appreciate it when you do all of those things. Who's to say, who's to know?
Don't be rude.
Amazing humming beings that share this show, hit all those buttons and help that sweet algo catch a flow. We appreciate the hell out of each and every one of you. But if you haven't already, hey, Don't be a hoe. Share the show. Be a friend. Tell a friend. Let the people know. And we will proceed with this morning's flow. My friends, that's all I got to get us cracking, lacking. That's all I got to get this place steady tapping. Because, my friends, I got a man that I got to welcome in. Because without him, this show wouldn't be complete. See, I could sit here all morning long and talk till I'm blue in the face, but you'd probably get tired of staring at my face. You probably want to hear from somebody else. You'd probably want a little bit of a different perspective. Maybe if I'm giving you the top of the coin, you want to see the bottom side of the coin. So please help me welcome in the forge to my fuel, the ice to my fire, the yin to my yang, the man, the myth, the legend, the owner of the Grandpa Ape Country Club. A professional DJ with a wide-ranging musical catalog. Honestly, more songs in there than you know what to do with, making him a human iPod. A purveyor of positive vibes. A curator of high-level energies. A certified PLP pusher. The jet plane flying. The McLaren driving. The Rolex rocking. The one, the only, with an emphasis on the one, the president of St. Louis, Missouri, he is DJ Swirl One. Great morning, Swirl One. How you doing back in the HQ?
Man, I'm doing amazing. Life is grand. I'm up. Hey, you mentioned the said grandpas. Got my nice grandpa on today. I'm feeling pretty. Man, this is one of my favorite things. I love this shirt. I'm just telling you.
Dude,
Grandpa's has some fire apparel.
Good, bro. That looks pretty damn good. I ain't gonna lie. Like, it kind of looks like one of them fisherman shirts. Like, I kind of want to.
It is. I didn't expect it to be that, but you know what? It's super light. It's awesome. Okay, telling you, bro.
That's
something you should definitely get into. Get yourself some Mind and Shine apparel, some GACC Pro Shop apparel. I'm just telling you, there's some fire stuff in there. Anyway, enough of that. Great morning, TGIF. It is Friday. You hopefully have had a great week, especially if you've been showing up every day over here. We've had some fire, flame, heat coming out of these spaces every single morning. Matter of fact, something came out yesterday. I saw a little short after. I was like, did I say that? Wow, I must have blacked out, just like Capp says sometimes. So whatever that is, all I need to do is this. Remind you a couple things. You need to make sure you've got your pen and your pad ready, because you just never know what might trip a trigger, what you might want to remember later. Maybe you want to bring that up to your son, daughter, wife, husband, boss. Who knows? I'm just saying, sometimes you have to manage up, my friends. Sometimes you have to manage up. Also, please don't forget to get your water, right? Start hydrating right now. If you drink 16 ounces before this show is over, oh my gosh, you realize you are so much further than when you started. Also, it's always a good idea to get, your coffee. So that can help wake you up. It's a great day to be alive. Great day to be on Forge and Fuel. Great day to be a grandpa. We got all kinds of stuff going on tonight. DJ, party, raffles. We're doing it all. So if I am not hyped up, then trust when I tell you, it's only going to get crazier as the day progresses. So, Capp, let's just start this day and let's see where it heads. How about that?
Ooh, I'm ready to start this day. I feel the energy. I feel the vibes. I'm ready to rock and roll. Let's go. Dude, I can't get over that shirt. I'm sorry. That fucker looks good, man. You ain't showing me word it, but it looks good. It looks good, dude. Hey, yeah, show me the side. Look, see, you got the little breathables in there. Oh, golly. That's a shirt right there, boy. You put me on a sailboat, one of them, I feel like I'm going to catch me a 500-pound tuna. I don't know. I feel like it's a lucky shirt. Who's to say? Who's to know? Obviously, we got the vibes. We're ready to catch a flow. We're ready to go. But, we don't start this show just like everybody else. We don't just get on into it and start giving you things to think about and make your brain spin and say, holy shit, I missed that. What were they saying? We give you a little something to start off with. We get the juices flowing. We get you going. Maybe a little chuckle to loosen things up so you can really start to listen. So, my friends, we got us a chuckle this morning. And this one is an OG of an OG that's floated around the interwebs for many, many moons now. But maybe some people still haven't seen it. And I tell you what, every time I see it, it still cracks me up to the core. So, my friends, this morning we're going to say hello to Antonio, and he's going to tell us his thoughts about the recent build of a gate that was just completed.
this path here, but we didn't realize that the gates had to shut. Right, Antonio? The gate won't even close because the road's in the way. What do you think, Antonio?
No good. No good. Easy, play that shit again.
This
No
path
good.
here, but we didn't realize
no
that the gates had to
good.
shut. Right, Antonio? The gate won't even
My question is, why can't they lift the gate right here?
close
That's what
because the road's in the way.
Why am I missing this?
What do you think, Antonio?
No good.
I'm with Antonio. He's not talking about the gate. He's talking about the guy. He says
No
the
good.
guy's like, lift the gate, homie. What are you doing?
What? I'm sorry. Antonio gets me every time.
I feel Antonio's pain. He's looking at this like, I've been working for this guy. That's no good.
Hey, so maybe next time you get into a bullshit situation or something comes up in your life or you get hit with one of them flaming arrows, you just use the old Antonio. Oh, no good. No good. Just get back to work, baby. Oh, shit. All right. There's your morning laugh from the one and only Antonio. As a reminder, before we get into it, I mentioned it last night at our bi-weekly networking meeting. If you are a fan of the show, a regular audience member, and you would like a question answered on the show, maybe you got something burning on the brain, melting on the heart, festering on the soul that we don't cover as a topic, or maybe we don't dive into it on the Reaction Refinery, whatever it is, if you got something you want answered by either me or Swirl or the both of us, send us an email to askfnf@thedhmgroup.io. You can see it right down there in the ticker for those of you tuning in live. But those of you listening to the audio feed, askfnf@thedhmgroup.io. Shoot us your emails over there. We'll bring them to the show and we'll answer them live in prime time. Don't you know? But my friends, it is time to kick off episode 587 officially. We've gone through the intro. I've said my great mornings. Swirl One has said his GMs. We've given you a little something to chuckle at. Now it's time to put those thinking caps on, those rabbit hole diving shorts up firm, and get ready to dive down some inspirational and motivational rabbit holes like you ain't ever been down before. Let's get this proverbial show car drifting around the corners of change as we get into the first segment of the day, your Sharpening Session. Okie dokie artichokes, let's get right on into it. If you didn't see the title of the day, let me be the first one to tell you. Our opening topic is Shuffle the Deck and Take the Gamble. Shuffle the deck and take the gamble. For those of you that weren't around last night, maybe you don't even know what I'm talking about. Maybe you're not even an OG of the OG. Last night, we had our DHMG bi-weekly networking meeting. And we had some great conversations in there. We really shared some gratitude. We shared what people are working on, how we can help as a network, where people are missing the mark, where they're really hitting the mark. It was an amazing conversation. And of course, we saved one of the best for last, our big-time bomb-dropping Nation's Capital connection, the one and only JK Big Time. And he said something that I've been thinking about since last night. And I wrote it down and I thought, I don't really even know where this is going to go. I don't know what, I'm probably just going to black out and start talking like I usually do. But JK said last night, sometimes you got to shuffle the deck. The only way to get a hand is sometimes you got to shuffle the deck. And I started thinking about that. And then I started thinking about poker and some of the analogies. And man, could we really draw some connections and maybe help people understand this thing called life a little bit more just by talking about a few card games? So I started thinking, at the beginning of every game, right? You got to shuffle that deck. The cards are all over the place. You don't know which ones are there. They're all upside down. Everybody's on the same level, even playing field, right? And then those cards get dished out. Maybe you're playing 5-card stud and you turn them over and, oh, God, that's the... Are you shitting me, dealer? You done gave me the... Oh, come on. And you see old Bobby over there. Fuck. Oh, I got my 4 aces and a king, baby. Oh, they don't know what I know. Oh. And he can't bluff worth a shit. He's got a great hand. You're sitting over here thinking, what the hell? but you got to play that hand. You got to play those cards. You got to get through that hand. Maybe you got to fold. Maybe you got to walk away from that hand. Maybe, you know what? I can't lose my money on this one. So you wait for the next hand and you get dealt a new hand. And maybe that hand's a little bit better. Maybe that's better than the one you first had. So you decide to play that hand, but it doesn't work out the best. You don't win that pot. Maybe the other person wins the pot. And eventually you keep playing some hands and it's just not going great. And you find that you haven't won. You've played through a whole deck and you haven't been able to get that win yet. Well, guess what? In order to find that win, it's time to shuffle the cards again. It's time to shuffle the cards of your life, spin them together, and then deal them out again. And say, you know what? Let's see if this, okay, that's a good, okay. Ooh, I can play this hand. And maybe you're going to play the hand and the hand isn't going to go the way you thought, but eventually you're going to win one of those pots. And you're going to say, wow, I'm glad I decided to stay at the table. I'm glad I decided to keep anteing up. I'm glad I decided to keep getting the cards tossed around the table at me, and I kept laying them down. Even though sometimes I had to fold, I kept showing up, and I kept having the opportunity to at least get the pot. And as I started thinking about poker, you know, my late great-grandfather, shout out Grandpa Rock, he was a man who looked almost identical to Kenny Rogers. He would do Kenny Rogers impersonations and go to, you know, where they would have people at a bar and everybody would, oh, there's Kenny Rogers 1, Kenny Rogers 2, and everybody in the bar would judge it. He'd do those all the time and he'd win them. And when I was growing up as a kid, he would always sing me Kenny Rogers songs. One of the songs he would always sing me is one of the most infamous ones, The Gambler. And I sat back last night and I started thinking about The Gambler. You got to know when to hold them. Got to know when to keep those cards. Got to know when to keep playing that hand. You got to know when to fold them. You got to know when that hand ain't right for you. Got to know when, oh shit, I got a 2, a 4, a 7, and an 8. What the fuck am I doing with this? Get that shit out of here. You got to know when to walk away. When you got to get up from that table. Maybe that's not the right table for you. Maybe you just, yeah, this ain't right. You got to know when to run. Holy shit, this ain't the right. Oh, get me out of here. You never count your money when you're sitting at the table. You never count your money while you're sitting at the table. I'll say it again. You never count your money while you're sitting at the table. You never look at your products while you're going through the process. You never worry about the products while the process is still going on. You never worry about the things you're receiving while you're still in the process of becoming. You never count your money while the dealing is still going on. Until that dealing's done, there's no more cards. They can't reshuffle. They can't give you an opportunity. Don't count your money because you haven't got to where you needed to be yet. You haven't played the ultimate hand. You haven't won the ultimate pot. So keep your money on the table and out of your pockets. There'll be time enough for counting when the dealing's done. There'll be time enough for counting when the dealing's done. When you get to play your last hand, when inevitably God calls you home, if you're lucky enough to do this life right, and he says, well done, good and faithful servant, there'll be plenty of time for you to look back. You know, many people who go through near-death experiences, or maybe they make it over to the other side, there's one thing they all say in common. Before you officially cross over, there's beings that meet you and give you the opportunity to look at your whole life. They say, we're not here to judge. We're not here to make you feel less than. We're just simply here to show you. That's what that Kenny Rogers line means. There'll plenty of time to look at your life, to see all the processes, all the products, all the shit once this is over. Stop worrying about all the cash you got, all the opportunities, all the shit, while you're still at the poker table of life dealing the cards. You're still getting dealt another hand, and you're worried about the hand that was played 2 weeks ago. And I suppose my final thought on this, as I can see I'm tripping some triggers here with some of these amazing poker playing humming beans in the live chat. I see you guys over there. I was hoping I was tripping some triggers. You know, in order to be a good poker player, you have to trust your gut. And we talked about this last night too. You got to trust your internal antenna. You got to believe that you know what to do. You got to believe that you studied the odds. You know the pot. You know the players at the table. You know that you can play this hand. You got to believe in yourself before anybody believes in the cards you're playing. You got to believe that you were meant to sit at that table and be in that tournament before anybody else can believe in you. And to take it even a step further, once you get those hands, you got to have that internal antenna to know when to fold them and when to hold them. Because sometimes you'll hang on to an opportunity, a relationship, a circumstance, a person, and you know you shouldn't. You know you should have folded that relationship forever and a day ago, cut the tether cords, and moved on with your life. But you kept those cards in your back pocket just in case you needed to play them. You knew you didn't. You know everybody at that table is going to see you pull the cards out of your back pocket and play them again and call you a cheater. So why do you worry about them in your pocket? Let them go, toss them to the wind, and focus on the deck you're playing on right now. Use your internal antenna to know when to walk away, know when to run, know when to count your money. Trust your gut, believe in yourself, shuffle the deck, play the hand, and then shuffle that son of a bitch again. Who's to say, who's to know? Some thoughts from the poker fell. Unmute yourself, Swirl One. What a bummer. That was about to be hot. It was about to be hot.
I love
Okay,
Kenny
now
Rogers.
we're going. Here we go.
Hey, I like the Sports Center. Check that out. But I love Kenny Rogers. Kenny Rogers is awesome. My dad is a huge Kenny Rogers fan, and he used to listen to all kinds of crazy stuff. I tell you what, and that was one of the things when that would come on, I'm like, this is a really cool song. At that time, I didn't know any different. You know, he liked Steve Miller Band. He liked all that kind of good stuff. But with that being said, it's hard to follow up Kenny Rogers' lyrics. Let me just say that because he said it all right there. He really did. If you want to talk about it, The Gambler's the way to talk about it. That's an absolute masterpiece of a songwriting. And that, I got to say, just you can't get it wrong. You got to know when to hold them, when to fold them. And I talked about this last night a little bit to myself when I was thinking about what JK was saying. And, you know, it was really a pretty good, you know, the way he said it was really sharp because you have to start over every single time. When you're shuffling that deck, you got to start over. Whatever happened that last deck makes no bearing on what the cards are going to look like this time. They're going to fall a whole different way. They're going to look at different sequences. You're not going to get the same hand. And if you do get the same hand, it's not going to look the same to everybody else out there. Here's the one thing, too, that's different about poker. A lot of people like blackjack because it's you against the dealer, right? And the dealer themselves, if you beat that one person, the whole table can win. Well, even when you're doing that, it's still a team sport because one person can mess up the entire everything that's going on the table on a blackjack table. When you go to poker, you're playing another intellect. It's chess just with people, really, and cards in front of them. So the biggest thing about that is that you'll play with poker players. And if you watch the poker tours, it doesn't matter which one you watch, you'll see some of these poker players, they don't care what their hand is. Their hand they have is the best hand. Doesn't matter what the best hand is on the entire table. The hand they have is the best hand. You know why? Because they're in the present. They're playing the hand they're dealt. It's the only one they have. So, hey, maybe the best hand, quote unquote, is pocket aces. Maybe it's 2 kings, whatever it might be. But hey, that Jack 5 offsuit right now, looking pretty sharp, let me tell you. And I might be able to, hey, Emily, go ahead and then all of a sudden you see that flop come out, and all you see is a Jack 5-5. And at that point, what happens to that intellect is you get a heart rate that goes high, right? And then in that one person can give tells to other poker players, like he can kind of smile, or he can look like, hey, what? And then look at his cards. All of a sudden they're like, oh, this guy's got something, right? But you see that guy every now and then, that'll flop down. He'll look at it and he won't even make a noise. Won't even look at his cards. He knows he's sitting on the full house right off the bat, right? That's what playing your cards right means. That's what that means. When you get the Jack 5 offsuit and you can sit there and strategically keep everything calm, like we always talk about, right? Be the calm in the storm. The whole table's watching you. The lights are on. The announcers are talking. Can you sit there and not break a sweat when you know you've got the best hand? It's tough. People will give tells. They'll start to capture this, or they'll look this way, they'll look to left or right. That's why people wear sunglasses when they're playing, because why? They don't want to give these tells. So with that being said, the winning hand can be a Jack 5 offsuit. It can be an ace ace. You never know. But these are the things. If you're not playing the game over and over and over and over again, you're not going to get these hands. You have to keep shuffling the deck to start fresh. And every time, understand your hand is coming. Your hand is coming. And if you play it the right way, it's going to win. So the biggest thing I could say is this. Say yes to the hand, right? We talked about this the other day. Say yes to the job, and then you'll figure out what the money is later. Same thing here. Say yes and figure out what the cut is, what happens with the flop, right? Play a lot of hands so you understand not only the players you're playing with, but the strategies that other people will play against you. And a lot of times you can tell right away, here's where I give up my momentum. Here's where I lose my traction. I give away my tells like this. I tell too many people of what I'm doing. Hey, I do this, but I don't do that, right? These are what can keep you from winning the poker game. So play a lot of hands. Understand the Jack 5 offsuit is a winning hand. And the reason why these poker players are the best they are is because they don't wait for the best hand that comes around. They play the hand they have the best they can.
Son. Son. The analogies are off the fucking charts this morning, dude. I'm so happy I decided to go this direction. I mean, this is great. This is fantastic.
Hey, you sucked the air out of the room with the Kenny Rogers thing. So I had good notes.
I'm sorry, bro.
The notes were fire. So.
I didn't even think about it. I didn't even think about it. That just came out of the face, bro. The last couple of days, we just been blacking out, just going about it. You said it. You know, I got off the show yesterday. I said, wait, did I say that? I said that? Oh, okay. Wow, that's pretty cool. Who's to say? Who's to know? Man, holy shit. The analogies, the Jack 5 offsuit, man. You might look at it. It might be that shitty ass hand, but maybe it really is a good hand. And, you know, you start to kind of think, maybe I could play it. Who knows? And maybe that flop isn't the best, but maybe the river and the turn are really where you get it. Maybe that's really where your hand comes in clutch. You got to play through the whole damn hand, you know? You got to pay to play. Grammy P always used to say that to me. Oh, she was the most smart ass on the poker felt. You want to see my cards? You got to play to play. You want to see my cards? You better get up in here. You better stay on the game. You ain't seeing my cards. You want to see them other cards? You better flop. You better put some money in. She'd be on your ass, right? So
it's crazy. My grandpa taught me poker, and he was very similar. Shout out to the older generation teaching us cool games. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, dude, 150%. I was probably like 7, 8, and I would just watch all the guys and some of the gals at Thanksgiving in my family. They get together, they start playing poker, and I was just like, Grandma, I want to learn. I want to play poker. And the next thing I know, I was playing party poker online and betting on horses and fucking playing blackjack and baccarat. And hey, I'll tell you what, too, not to get down a gambling rabbit hole, but baccarat's really starting to trip my triggers. I'm telling you what, I might have to go figure out some baccarat. I don't know. I like that banker.
All
player.
I see when I see that is people sitting around that for hours and hours on
monkey. I just want to yell for a monkey.
They don't make a ton of money, but they don't lose a ton of money. That's why people like that game, because they sit there for a long time and get drunk. I've watched it over and over again before. I thought, let me get into it, but it doesn't. If you want, just go play Keno with me. We'll have the same.
Yeah, you and your fucking Keno.
Hey, you think it's fun and games until you end up buying yourself a damn Jesus piece off of it.
Here comes the money.
That's a good point, you know.
Hey, and I wrote this down too.
Huh.
You guys don't think we keep notes?
Damn,
man.
look at that, son. I'm telling
Ages, bro.
you over here. Come on, I'm telling you.
So that's the other thing too. If you're going to get into the felt game of any sorts, whatever it is that you're playing, you have to have skin in the game. First off, okay? And scared money don't make none. So if you're scared the business isn't going to win, guess what? You're not going to win. If you're scared about the dollars you're putting out there because you don't think that business is going to make it, guess what? It won't make it, because every dollar you put out there has a negative thought to it, a negative connotation to it, right? So you cannot sit there and look at yourself and say, oh, you know what? I'm going to win just because I'm investing all this money. No. If that investment doesn't feel good when you do it, and that's scared money, that's your rent money or whatever it might be, Yes, you're going to fail. I promise. You're not going to win $1 million off that $100 bet if it's scared. But it's funny when you don't care how much money. There's a saying that we have. Everything's funny with a pocket full of money. So if you go up and you start chilling at the craps table, baccarat table, whatever, and you don't care about that dough, that's when it happens. You put it down. You're like, I'm going to put it all on red, Cap. Let's go. Bam. Boom. Red. You're like, yeah. You know why? Because you didn't care. It didn't matter if it disappeared. You understood that was going with a positive connotation to that money. You were thinking positive thoughts when it happened. And guess what happens? Just like what we said yesterday. Hold on. I've got it right here. You get out what you put in.
Well, hot diggity damn. You just made me think of FedEx, right? And most people know the FedEx story, but they were down to their last couple of bucks. They were all the way down. And the owner, he took all the money out of the bank account and he flew to Las Vegas. And he said, here's what it is. Life of abundance. I'm going to get on this plane. I'm going to go play one round of roulette. I'm going to put all this money on
happening, baby. Come on.
Fucking number. One fucking number. Life of abundance. If it works, here we go. If it doesn't, I'm going back home and I'll work in the plant and I'll be broke and filled with debt like everybody else. Fuck it. Let me just live one more weekend. And he goes and he puts that on that number. I wish I knew the number, the color, what it was. I wish I knew the whole story. Puts it on there. One spin. Boom. He's got all the money he could ever want to turn FedEx into FedEx. It just simply came from a choice to live in abundance, to say, you know what, I'm just going to try. Scared money don't make no money. It's probably the stupidest decision anybody's ever made when it's come to business, but it's a hell of a story. Roll the dice one time and see if you get a 6. Right? We talked about that like 2 weeks ago with one of those videos. Andrew Tate was talking about it. No, you don't understand. I have to roll a 6. You don't get it. No. There's no 2, maybe. Let me pick it back up. No. This one has to be a 6. And if it's not a 6, I got to walk away from the table and I'm never playing this game again. I hope you understand how serious this is, right? And it can be with cards too. I got to get this straight. It has to be straight. That's got to be a fucking 7, bro. If that's not a 7, I'm fucked. And sometimes that's what it all comes down on. You push all your chips on the table. You take your shirt off your back. You throw it in the pot too. And you say, fuck it. If I lose, I'm walking home shirtless. Let's try it and see what the hell can happen, right? Woo! And I tell you what, the only way to do that, I wrote this down, is just to play the game over and over and over again. You said it. Just play the game over and over. Just pull up to the table. Just buy in, ante up, and start playing the fucking hands. And probably you're going to lose for the first while because you hadn't been practicing. You ain't been working on being a good poker player. You've been losing all your damn money. But then eventually you're going to get a little better at poker. And you're going to learn a little bit. And then you might turn into a Kelly O who didn't know shit about poker. And then she started researching. Started looking a little bit more. And the next thing you know, she started winning tournaments in the Grandpa Ape Country Club. How is that possible? If you don't know anything about poker, how can you possibly learn about poker and then become a good poker player? That's not possible. You can't simply not know how to be a chef or not know how to be an entrepreneur or not know how to be a bodybuilder and then just start researching and doing it. And then the next thing you know, you become an entrepreneur or a bodybuilder. It can't be that simple. Is it, Swirl One? No way.
No.
It can't be that simple.
It's not just with cards. It's not. Think about this real quick and talking about giving everything you got. Sylvester Stallone sold his dog to make sure that he could make Rocky. Literally sold his dog to make Rocky.
And then to take that a step further, got his dog back, divorced his wife, got a tattoo of the dog on his arm because the wife hated the dog.
And worst part than that, he had to pay double for the damn dog once he had to go and buy it back. So, you know what I mean? It's people will go down to their last pennies and still bet on themselves. What's your excuse? Literally, what's your excuse? They'll sell their damn dog. That's why I've said a million times, I'll sell everything. I don't care. You know why? Life of abundance. It will come back to me. If I sell the car, if I sell the watches, if I sell everything I got, guess what? It's going to come back to me. You know why? Because those things didn't make up who I am. It shows how well I could play the game. And if I could play the game that well back then to do whatever with the less knowledge that I had at that time, Buddy, let me tell you, the knowledge I have now is only accumulating better things. And when I say better things, I don't mean material things. I'm saying better future for myself, better gains for my body, my health, my mental, everything, right? Now I don't look at those things and say, hey, you know what? The watch defines the fact that I make all this money or I'm this successful. That doesn't know. You know what defines that? The fact that I can walk around, I don't have any stress on my head. The fact that I can walk around and somebody can see me walk by and go, wow, that dude must work out. Damn right I do. Not only my physical, but my mental. That's why I can have my head up high. That's why I don't have to worry about being in my phone every single damn day. That's the difference. We play the game of life every single day. You get up every day and your deck has been shuffled. What are you doing with the hand that you just got given? Are you trying to do something with it? Or are you just saying, it's a Jack 5 offsuit. That's a Monday. That's just the way it is. I'm just going to have a case of them today. That Jack 5.
Sounds like somebody's got a case of the Mondays.
You know what, Cap? I don't even think this is going to be a winning hand, so I'm just going to fold it.
Bruh.
Man, you never even gave yourself a chance to see the flop. And then when you saw the flop and you still thought it was a bad day, you didn't see the turn, and you're damn sure not hanging out for the river. So how the hell are you going to ever win if you never see the hand fully through? That's where the difference is. People don't get that. You get up every day to a brand new deck, a new hand. Yesterday was maybe the Jack 5. Maybe tomorrow's the day you get the aces. Why don't you start trying to play the game on a daily basis so you understand it better? Sorry, I got
You better
fired up
believe it. Oh, no apologies needed. We are fucking hot this morning. You were talking, I will go back just a quick second. You were talking about poker players wearing their sunglasses and not wanting to give tells. And I pulled up the lyrics to The Gambler, and, you know, the second block of the second 16, it's always got me. He said, son, I've made a life out of reading people's faces, knowing what their cards were by the way they held their eyes. So if you don't mind me saying, I can see you're out of aces. For a taste of your whiskey, I'll give you some advice. I've made a life out of being able to read people, out of being able to know where people are, out of being able to know when they're missing the mark or when they're not. And I know when people are out of aces. And I know when sometimes people need help. They need pulled up. That's why we got this thing right here. Sometimes you need one of them studs. Maybe, why am I blanking on all these? Daniel Negreanu. Maybe you need a Daniel Negreanu, huh? We got the Daniel Negreanu's back at the crib.
Hey,
all you got to
Steve
do is
Aoki
just
plays poker now.
Hey, all you got to do, Mickey, you want a Mickey Mace. Hey, we got a Mickey
There you
Mace,
go.
for those of you, you young cats out there, you know, we're just out here. That's what we do, right? We have been the ones who have sat at the table, who have played the cards, who have accidentally bluffed when we shouldn't have, who have shown our hands, who've shown the emotion on our face, who lost the pot because of it, who's got the new hands, who reshuffled the deck, who played him again, who still couldn't find it, who got the Jack 5 offsuit, decided to play the fucker. Oh my gosh, it actually worked. This is insane. That's all we're talking about here this morning. We literally have applied these things, and you're watching guys who do it. So why can't you? Why can't you get on the poker table of life? Why can't you let the dealer shuffle them up and just start playing hands? Why not? Why not? And if you're feeling like you're out of aces, maybe you just got to remember the chorus. You got to know when to hold them. You got to know when to fold them. Know when to walk away. Know when to run. You never count your money. When you're sitting at the table, there'll be time enough for counting when the dealing's done. Who say
I
who's to know?
love it.
Huh? One time for the one time.
You know what's funny? The best thing about poker is this. You know, you'll have the most crazy hand and you won't realize that it's going to be a winner. And you never know how big the pot's going to be because you got 7, 8 other guys that are around you if you're playing on a big hand. And hey, they all have the same thought you have. There could be 2 or 3 Jack 5 offsuits on that table at one time. But the different thought process between the people that hold those are completely what changes the game. One guy's like, hey, this could be my hand. I've gotten Jack 5 offsuit the last 3. This is going to be the winner. The next guy's like, bro, this is the worst hand I've gotten all day long. The next guy's like, dude, I love playing Jack 5 hands. I don't care. Every time I get them, I win, right? And so you got 3 different perspectives looking at the same hand. And then the dealer puts this out there, and all of a sudden the Jack 5 falls, and now everybody's got a hand. right? All of a sudden they're all right, but everybody's got a hand. What's the difference between the person that wins that game and doesn't win the game? It's the person that's not afraid to keep pushing all the way through, regardless of what they think. Because even though Jack 5's there, there's going to be thoughts in your head. Man, does Capp have the 2 aces? Why is he going so hard here? He couldn't possibly. I mean, Jack, man, maybe it's not on the board. And now you get all these different thoughts, but you stop playing your game and you start getting into other people's heads. That's where it's at. Believe in yourself. And what if you believe you've got the hand and you think you can do it, then guess what? Go all in on anything, just like JK said last night. If you're going to try to go into pickleball like he did, or if you're trying to go into music like I am, just go all in. Who cares? Make bad things until they become good. You know, if you have to start at a 1.0 to get to a 4.0, whatever that grading system is, then great. Go ahead and start there. Everybody's got to start somewhere. So all I'm saying is this: don't play with scared money. If you're going to play the hand, be prepared to go all in.
Yeah, boy. Yeah, boy. Ooh! Ooh! I'm sorry. If you're not gassed up, if you're not fired up, if you're not ready to just absolutely destroy this day, I mean, hey, that's the show. We're out of here. That's it. That's all we got for you. Wait, no more perspective. We're leaving it right there. I mean, come on. What in the world? I'm telling you what. I put this together last night. So when I was thinking about this topic, I was like, boy, I hope this goes somewhere good. I sure hope it starts piling on top of itself. I don't know, man. I don't know if it's going to. Man, look at us. Look at us, man. 41 minutes after the top of the hour. Who's got it better than us, huh? Nobody. Who's to say, who's to know? All right, kids. Well, there's your first segment of the day, your sharpening session, talking about shuffling the deck and taking the gamble. Man, great perspective over there, Swirl One. Love that shit. Woo-wee! Man, if you didn't get something from the first segment of the day, you are crazy. But that's all right. Because even if you're crazy, we still got plenty of show left, and maybe we still got time to trip your trigger. Maybe you didn't hear us quite well right there. Maybe you're not a poker player. Maybe the analogies just weren't lining up, and you said, I don't know what they're talking about. They seem fired up. They seem that they're making sense. Some of the people in the chat act like they're making sense, so maybe I'll just keep listening and hoping something trips my trigger today. Well, my friends, it's about to be that time because we got some shit coming your way now. No more talking about poker. It's time to dive into the world of college football. Whoa, who's to say, who's to know, as we head over to the
Reaction Refinery.
Okie doke, my friends. You might be sitting there saying right now, college football? What the? I didn't think Capp did sports gambling anymore. What is this, a sports show? What the hell's going on this morning? I tuned in to get motivated. Well, hey, relax a minute. Maybe you still are going to get motivated. Maybe I thought to myself late last night, what should the theme be tomorrow? Well, with NFL coming up, college football coming up this weekend, the kids love some football. Shout out to our friend Jeff Montross. I saw him in the live chat, and our friends over there at the Fantasy Football Forecast podcast. If you don't know, you won't know. Give our friends a follow over there. But I was sitting back and I thought, well, wait a minute. There are so many college coaches out there that have given so much great perspective and inspiration throughout the years. Who would I be if I didn't tap into some of that and give some of you guys the perspective that I've received from some of these guys that have helped me continue to be the man that I am today? So I found some. And we got 4 clips on tap here today. We're going to say hello to a legendary coach from the Dame of the Notre variety. We're going to say hello to another legendary coach from the place where the big old elephants stampede. We're going to say hello to a man who might even own the New York Jets one day. And then we're going to say hello to a man who is my favorite NFL player of all time, the baddest, the meanest, the nastiest, the one that you don't want to line up against. We'll all find out who these people are right now. As we get into the first clip of the day, we say hello to a man who talk the very... I'm not even going to... That's a Ty Schmidt thing. We got to have Ty Schmidt on the show. We got to have Ty Schmidt on the show, D's. Shout out to the man, the myth, the legend, the one and only Lou Hoach. Lou Hoach live.
I saw Lou Hoach speak one time.
Wait, hold on.
I
Dude,
saw
I didn't
Lou
even
Holtz
tell.
speak one time.
Did you?
Amazing. He spoke to me in a congregation of people, and I was one of the only people that actually remembered who the guy was. There was a few people, but man, it was fired up. He was badass. So sorry, go ahead. Roll the tape.
Well, I'm a big fan, Lou Holtz. Oh, Coach Lou Holtz. He's going to tell us this morning about 4 rules in 3 things.
Your life. If you don't have any of these 4 things in your life, you're going to have a tremendous void. See, everybody needs something to do. Number 2, everybody needs someone to love. Number 3, everybody needs someone to believe. The 4th thing you need in your life is you need something to hope for. What do you want to do? I want to give you a simple plan. I wish that I'd learned it when I was 21. There's only 3 rules you have to follow. Law number 1, do what's right. Do what's right and avoid what's wrong. There's never a right time to do the wrong thing. And there's never a wrong time to do the right thing. The second thing is do everything best your ability, because then people will know you're committed to excellence. You want to be special. And the last rule, help other people and caring about people. Needs a smile, needs a kind word, needs an encouragement.
Man, I love it. Lou Holtz is awesome. I enjoyed his speech that day. You know, I've been very privileged to be able to listen to some great speakers in my time, and I've heard some amazing stuff from these keynote speakers. And whether it's been through companies that I've been worked with, or either paid for it on my own, or what have you, there's been some good ones, and he was great. But I like what he's saying in there. There's never a wrong time to do the right thing, and I think that's the biggest. Every day we have to get up and start making right choices for it. And it's like I said the other day, hey, you've got 90 days left in this year. Is today the day you're going to go ahead and start making those right choices for whatever it is? Shout out to, last night, I won't give away a lot of what's going on in the meeting, but there's people that are immediately taking things and starting to make their lives better right now, to where when they walk into 2020, 25, 26, whatever it might be, their life will be better. Whether it starts now and ends in a year, or they can get it done in 6 months, whatever it might be, they're working towards it. And that's exactly what he said too. Do the best you can. Play the hand the best you can. I mean, what the hell? You're here. The day started. The birds are chirping. The sun's out. You have your wits to you. Why don't you? And I said it before on a job at Jam, so I'd say it again. This is the youngest you're ever going to be. So stop saying, hey, I'm going to do it later. You need to start right now. You will never be younger than you are right now. As a matter of fact, I'm older than when I said that just a little while ago. So let me tell you, there's no better time than the present to start whatever it is, that business, that relationship, that schoolwork, that housework, the dishes. Make your bed. I mean, literally, there's no better time than the present to do that. So if you're going to get it done, get it done. Dude, let me tell you, yesterday, so I told these guys the other day, I kind of set up my own little home gym, because I don't got time to go to the gym, and I hate the gyms anyway. I'm going to end up going, but at the same time, I'm still not. Hey, you watch, bro. And it doesn't matter, even with that. So I learned this. Oh, I saved it. Check that out. Check me out. Hey, I even have it fired up. Think about this. Only 10% of men out there have a 6-pack. I'm one of them. 0.075% of men can bench press 225 pounds right here, right? Only 95.7% of men out there, they can't do 10 pull-ups. That's what, 95.7% men. I can do that, right? So when I say I'm playing the game the best of my ability, I'm making sure I'm prepared for anything that were to happen to me physically, mentally, or financially on a daily basis. If you can run through things like that and realize most Americans don't even have $5,000 in their savings account. How do you measure up to that? Do you have $5,000 in your savings account? Okay, well, that's the same thing as saying, hey, most men don't have 6-packs, right? Hey, most Americans don't even read 1 book a year. Have you read 1 book this year? Guess what? Start there. You're already doing better than most that are out there. So when I say do things to the best of your ability, measure up to what you're trying to measure up to. Put yourself a measuring stick out there so you know how good or how far you're moving.
Somebody grab a fire extinguisher. Put this man out. Holy shit. We
It's
get some
me.
figures. Oh, golly. Hey, those are one of those moments you blacked out. You're going to like the clips that came out from that moment right there. So
I hope
who's to know? Damn.
Bruh.
Man, there's never a right time to do the wrong thing and never a wrong time to do the right thing. Do it to the best of your ability. That way people know you're committed to excellence. I thought about do it to the best of your ability. That way people know who trains you. That way people will believe in those who trained you. And we talked about that before. You showing up. I can't show up and act like a total fuckstick because then it makes Swirl look bad. Right? I don't want to be trained by that fucking asshole. That's Capp, who said is his mentor, and he acts like that. Fuck that guy. I don't want to be a part of that. Forget that nonsense. That's the exact same thing. Do it to the best of your ability so people can see that you are determined for greatness and that those around you have helped you get to this point. You are living up to a higher standard and help others. You know, I was listening to a pretty famous podcaster the other day who was talking about, oh, you know, when I first got started in entrepreneurship, I wanted the McLaren and the Lamborghini and the big house and everything. And then finally I got that. And then I realized I could start helping people. I look back and we just had a big event at our office and man, I'm finally helping people. You know what? I ain't got a fucking McLaren. I ain't got a fucking Lambo. I live in a 1-bedroom, 1-bathroom fucking condo. Most motherfucking, influencers or content creators won't tell you that. And I'm already helping people. We're already changing lives every fucking day. We show up every single day. You want to talk about the networking meeting? I'm not going to, hey, you want to be a part of it, come be a part of it. But every single person in there has told us where they are taking the next step of their lives, how we can help them get there. And I guarantee you we're going to follow up with them and they're already going to be on the next level. I don't need a fucking Lamborghini. I don't need $1 million in the bank in order to be able to help people, in order to set the change and the precedent in this world that I want to see. And that's selfish because I work on myself and then I take it right to people. And we show up on this show and talk about shit that we're working on every single day. I don't need to be a fucking millionaire to change the world. All I need is to be able to change myself and have the willingness to want to help other people do the same thing. Man, it pissed me off when I heard that. I was like, yeah, cool, for sure. It's awesome to have those things. But man, that's what you should do it from the rip, from the fucking rip, not go 7, 8, 10 years down the road trying to chase money and then say, we should have been doing this for our customers all along. So don't sit on that camera telling me you fucking know everything. You figured everything out. You're so fucking smart when you got a homie out here that you're making 500x more and he already knows those fucking things. He set the precedent from the jump that we were going to be taking care of people. I'm sorry I'm fired up, but that shit got me the other day. I said, damn, bro, you got all these followers, all this money, and now all of a sudden you can make a change? What the fuck? No thanks. Here I am. Send me. And that's how I know we're going to be successful because we've done it from the people, for the people, from the rip. We've done it from them, for them, from the beginning. There's nothing else we do this for, man. I don't get paid showing up here every day. Swirl doesn't get paid showing up here every day.
I do. I get paid every day from this, bro. You have no idea how much.
Yeah, you get paid. Yeah, you get your time back for sure. Yeah, 150%. You know, we talked about it last night. You know, some of you may not know the original story of GACC. We talked about, you know, Aslan. Fuck that son of a bitch. I don't care. Fucking show me my screen on face. Fuck you. And stealing 450 fucking ETH. And then all of a sudden, guess what? For those of you that don't know, then Swirl just stepped up to the plate with no money in the fucking account and said, hey, you know what? I'm going to try and figure this out. And how do you think that fucking project has survived over the course of the last 2 years? Because I don't know if you vaguely remember, but fucking OpenSea doesn't pay you any money. I don't remember it being $1 billion coming in from the GACC Pro Shop. I don't really know. Oh shit, wait, they pay out for poker. Wait, they pay out for rumbles. They pay out for raffles. They pay out for GACC pots. Oh my gosh, all they do is give and no one gives anything in return. So fuck you if you got your hand out. Fuck you if you think that this ain't where it's at. I'm sorry to be strong, but I'm hot this morning. I don't give a fuck because we come out here every single day. We show up every single day. We don't want nothing in return. All we ask is a little like, a little repost, a little show up, a little, I want to get better. You know what? Yeah, if Swirl and Capp could do it, I can do it too, right? Man, I don't know. I fucking blacked out again. I don't even know where I'm at. I'm just saying I'm happy to do this every fucking day. And I am so sick and tired of people.
My friends, that right there is passion. You see that right there? Look at that, man. That's passion. That's what that is. And that's caring about your brother right there. Because, you know, this guy has many diamond handers that see me drug through the mud. But you see a smile on my face every single day. Ain't nobody going to let my shine down. Just as bright as these rays are behind me, I'm going to keep, beaming. I can't stop, won't stop. And I mean that for real. I owe it to myself. I owe it to my creator. I owe it to my mom, my dad, and the 4,000 people that came to make me this. I was paying attention the other day, right? To be the best I can be at whatever it is I'm doing. I cannot go out and not set the example for the people that I employ, the people that are in my family, and the people that sit and watch me from different corners. Because you know what? Whether you like to believe it or not, people are watching you. Doesn't matter. They're paying attention, and they're either making you a lesson or they're making you something that, hey, maybe it's a problem. They're like, hey, I don't want to be like that guy, right? Or they're like, that's the right way to treat somebody. Hey, I like the way he spoke with that lady. Wow, that guy walked in, didn't know anything, and then all of a sudden he had like 5 different conversations. That's the difference. Be different. Be somebody you can be proud of on a daily basis. That's what I look forward to.
Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby.
Hey, it ain't easy, bro. And there's days I let myself down. But here's the thing. I have such a high standard of myself. Even on the days I let myself down, it's probably 10 times better than every other person out there because I'm already on 50 before I leave this show. When I leave this show, I'm on 1,000,000, ready to go get it done. People get up and they're just, as soon as the show ends, they're like,
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine. And you're not really fine.
Yeah.
You just can't get into it.
what I got going on today? Hold on. And here we are. I've already got my push-ups in. I got my new curl bar that I told these guys I got the other day, and I did a bunch of them. It's the most weight I've ever owned in my house at one time. I did a bunch of them this morning, right? That's a big thing to say right there. That's the most weight I've ever owned in my house at one time. I'm not doing that for no reason. That just saying things like that, hey, that's the most I've ever ran at one time. Hey, that's the most I've ever lifted at that one time. Hey, that's the most amount of books I've ever read in 1 year. Hey, this is the most amount of money I've ever saved in 1 month. These things can change your life if you can start programming yourself to start tracking your results and getting somewhere.
Hey,
I don't even know what you're talking about. I'm just saying shit.
I don't either, bro.
I'm sorry. God bless.
I'm thinking we got 3 clips to get through. We're just
I know.
out
I was
here.
just thinking, where's the clip? Come on. Dude.
Your phone ringing. Your phone ringing.
Oh my
Oh shit! Paige and Capp and Swirl, you got a show to host. Golly, we're
Hey,
just in here
focus.
talking, loving life. Fucking, hey, you know, we're just doing it. We're just doing the damn thing out here. Who's to say? Who's to know? Man, hope you guys are enjoying the show. If you are, don't be a hoe. Share the show. Let the people know. Be a friend. Tell a friend. And we will continue with this morning's flow as we get into the second clip of the day. A man who I hold in very high regard. A man who I have been a massive fan of for, probably the better part of almost 2 decades now. He is the legendary, the one and only coach of the Alabama Crimson Tide, who just retired this past year. The one and only Coach Nick Saban, telling us about mediocres versus high achievers.
You have to be able to communicate with other people, and you have to work with other people. And you can never have any team chemistry for this reason. Mediocre people don't like high achievers, and high achievers don't like mediocre people. So if everybody doesn't buy into the same principles and values of the organization and the same high standard, you're never going to be successful. Woo! Just like our spring practice right now. You know what my goal with spring practice is? Get the right guys on the bus, get them in the right seats, and get the wrong guys off the bus. So one of these days, you're going to be working in an organization, and somebody's going to try to do that to you. So which one of those people do you want to be? Do you want to be somebody they're trying to get off the bus because you're satisfied with mediocre performance? Because you can never have any team chemistry in your organization if everybody's not committed to the same standard and the same things. You know, when I worked for Bill Belichick, we had one sign in the building. It was, do your job. And you go in all these places and, you see all these things.
I love Saban right there at the end. He goes on and he says, you see all these places and they got all these quotes and all these signs and all this shit, and they got no chemistry. They got no livelihood. They got no bond together, right? And it's so true. And when I heard Saban say that, I saw that clip a long time ago, and it just makes so much sense. High achievers can't stand mediocre people. They can't stand that they don't cross their T's. They don't dot their I's. They don't get up and make their bed in the morning. They don't do their dishes. They let them soak. They can't stand that shit, right? I had a couple of roommates in college, and man, they would leave their shit all over the place. It was always dirty. It was always nasty in that fucking place, and I would lose my mind. Like, what the fuck are we doing? Can't you just clean some shit up? One time my head popped off of my body, and I just lost it on all of them. What the fuck? I lost my shit. And I realized, oh my gosh, it's because I'm a high achiever. I can't stand mediocre shit. And they can't stand me because they're mediocre. They want to sit around with their hands in their pants playing Xbox, getting up at 2 p.m, never doing their dishes, never doing their laundry. And they can't stand that I'm holding them to a higher standard, saying this is how we live around here. People can't stand that. So that's why you got to be around high achievers. And if you don't want to go to the max, if you don't want to throttle down, then stay the fuck from around the high achievers. Go find yourself around the mediocres. It's okay. We need you in this life. I don't mean to be an asshole, but we need you mediocre people. We need you that are willing to do the jobs that nobody else wants to fucking do. We need you to be there to take care of the things that nobody else wants to take care of, while us high achievers go do the things that nobody really can do, that nobody's ever going to see. Go pursue the passions and get on the paths that nobody has ever walked before. I don't want to be around no mediocre people, Swirl One. I appreciate all the high achievers we got around here.
That's the problem with mediocre people. They look at what you're doing as an overachiever. You are overachieving. You're above average. Why are you going so hard? You don't have to. I get paid for doing what I do. Why don't you just do what I do? Right? Well, that's the difference. That's the difference between the kiosk and the person I talked to the other day, right? Hey, I want to keep you employed. Well, I get it. Hey, we need those people. Okay. We need the people that don't mind being that, hey, I'm going to take your order, that kind of thing, right? But we also need those high achievers because they're the ones that create the businesses that employ those people. So if you're going to continue to have these kind of opportunities, it is going to be up to these high achievers to do so. The problem with high achievers is they have every day the one duty to do exactly what we just talked about, do the best they can. Get their hand and play it the best they can. And every day your hand is different. You know what's crazy? I told you about that new piece of tech I bought that talks to me about how I sleep and how this and all that. Yeah. And
somebody was asking me about that too. It's like, hey, did Swirl One get married, bro? What is that business? No, this is also good.
Yeah. It's like a little, you can see there's stuff.
Yeah, look at that.
Yeah, pretty cool. Anyway, so bottom line is the thing about it is it tells you every day. It almost, I don't want to say dictates, but it almost prescribes how your day is going to be based on what sleep you did and how you worked out yesterday. So it'll adjust your settings based on, oh, you didn't sleep very good last night. You better take it easy today. As a matter of fact, we adjusted your daily calorie burn because you should probably take it easy. In other words, take a rest day or whatever. I crush that thing every damn day because you know why? I'm not going to let some person, place, thing, or ring tell me that I can't be on the best damn day I can possibly have. Yesterday, you know what? I'm taking accountability for everything I do, man. Yesterday, I was feeling like I needed to get a breakfast burrito. So I went and got a chorizo breakfast burrito from this crazy place that just looked like amazing. I was like, you know what? Screw it. I don't even have to eat the whole thing if I don't do. And I thought it was going to be, this dude gave me a baby. Like this burrito was like, I was like, oh my God, dude. And so I'm like, there's no way I'm eating this whole thing. Right. So I take it and I have as much as I can. Well, I ate not even half of it. I ended up keeping it in the app. Well, this thing made me feel lethargic towards the end of the day. So when I came time to go do my workout, boy, I felt heavy. I was like, you know what? That's BS. Go do this. Switch it up. Go for your run first, then come back and get this done because by the time you're sweating, you're going to keep it going. And I did my full 3 miles and I had one of the best workouts ever yesterday. But you know why? It's because I don't let mediocrity get to me. I don't let it influence my brain. I don't let it influence my tech. I don't influence my mind. If somebody's saying they can't, I wonder why. If somebody is saying, hey, that's too hard, I always wonder why. What is it? What is so hard about it? It's just effort you don't want to put in. That's what it comes down to.
Bingo. Golly, man, we are on it this morning, man. I tell you what. We get into your third clip of the day, my friends, and we are not saying hello to a college football coach or an NFL coach or even a player for either one of them organizations, NCAA, NFL. Rather, we're talking to a man who loves the NFL, and more in specific, loves the New York Jets. Jets, Jets. Who's to say, who's to know? The man, the myth, the legend is here live in prime time. Hey, don't be mad, Mr. Producer, just because they took your favorite quarterback of all time. All right, just relax back there, okay? Cool out one time for the one time, you cheese fuck. Who's to say, who's to know? Before we get into the third clip of the day, as we say hello to entrepreneur, influencer, icon, sports mogul, sports card lover, NFT connoisseur. What the fuck doesn't this guy do? Gary Vaynerchuk telling us about discipline versus talent.
Watch Gary Vee explain the importance of discipline versus talent.
A current NFL coach took a player in a draft recently. He could have taken a player that they had way higher on the draft board as a much better player, and they took the other player. I said, why? And then he said something profound. He goes, this player will go out, and he'll go out to 2:30 in the morning in the club. And you know what he's going to do on Sunday? And I'm like, what? He's going to go 8 catches for 137 yards and a touchdown. The problem is that same Saturday night, he's going to bring 6 teammates with him, and those 6 guys are going to shit the bed. I'm like, the player we took is the 8th player in that story, and he's going to stop the other 6 from going out.
Huh? Are you the person that is going out till 2:30 in the morning and then influencing everybody else? So when they get on the field of life, they get on the daily battlefield. Now they're not worth a shit. Now they're all struggling. They're all dragging their knuckles. You know, I got on a rant yesterday talking about wasting your whole fucking weekends, nursing hangovers, chasing tail, playing video games, watching football, doing shit that doesn't matter, right? Yeah, maybe you might still be able to show up and, oh yeah, get your 10 catches, 137 yards and a touchdown, and you're all awesome and you can go party and you got natural given talent. But what about that person that's not going out? What about that person that's pounding the stone in the dark? What about that person that's in the gym while you're at the club? What about that person that's reading the book while you're scrolling through social media? What about that person that's writing the business plan while you're flicking the sticks on Xbox, right? Where are you falling? Where are you lying? Yeah, you might get drafted higher if you got some talent, but maybe if you show yourself that maybe your talent's in your mind and not what everybody else can see. Your talent's in your mentality. And maybe that's what gives you the opportunities, right? Man, I just love that story. It just shares so much perspective of, man, just because you got talent, just because we know you're good and you're great, maybe you bring some extra baggage along with you that we don't want to be part of this organization. Hey, back to the mediocre and the high achievers. You know, we can't mix this in this organization. We got a culture. We've set the precedent, and we got to keep moving forward with that, man. What do you think about that discipline versus talent, Swirl?
Bro, I hire people all the time. And I've hired people that weren't absolute. How do I say? They didn't look presidential like the other person did. And people are like, well, man, I'm really surprised you didn't pick that person. But I also found out that, hey, some people present really well and they're great at interviews. But you know what I heard? They have a hard time getting to work on time. You know what I heard? Hey, sometimes they can be negative in certain situations. You know what I've heard is that sometimes they like to go AWOL and not think of the team first. So I'll look at them, man. They might be and I said this yesterday to a client of mine. I told them yesterday because we were just talking about, you know, hey, and I even said it last night on the meeting too. It's twice I talked about it yesterday because I've fired my best salesperson before. It's happened. And sometimes it's because that person is bringing down the rest of the team. Hey, if you've got a performer that understands that everything they do can rub off on everybody else around them, they're not going to take the people to the club. They're going to make sure that they get into work on time, right? They're going to look at them and say, hey, by the way, I'm going to the gym at 5:30 in the morning. I'll see you there, right? That's the one I want. So when I look at people I'm going to hire, I always say this. Do they have the drive to get up and do the thing that whatever it is they got to do on their own? Can they be intrinsically motivated so they can run autonomously? Because again, I don't ask my people to clock in. I don't have an office for them to go to. They don't need to call me and go, hey, by the way, Swirl, I'm going to. No, they just do what they got to do when they got to do it. And I've got to trust that they can do those things, right? The second part of that is this. They've got to have the heart to know what's right, what's wrong, and how to keep pushing forward when things get tough. If you can get those two things in people, that stuff can't be taught. That stuff is innate. They have to learn that over life. And these people that are out, hey, they might be the star performer, but if they're going out and partying every night and taking everybody else with them, they might have the drive themselves, but they don't have the heart to understand everybody else around them doesn't have that same discipline or the talent. So therefore, they're going to bring the team down. So they're missing one of those items right there. And so that's one person I wouldn't hire either.
That's some big advice right there. I can't tell him how many times I've triple starred and underlined discipline and heart on my notes. I mean, I got a stack of notes over here from all of our J&Js and Forge and Fuels. And that always comes up, man. I appreciate you mentioning that. That's some good shit right there. Woo! One final clip, my friends. We got a little more reacting to do. And this time, we say hello to one of my favorite football players of all time. A man who is a motivational speaker, an inspiration to so many, a man who has overcome a lot, a man who some people still don't like to this day, and I wish they would just get off of their fucking high horse and stop worrying about lawsuits that happened that were bullshit 3 decades ago. Fuck them. Either way, we say hello to the legend, Mr. Ray Lewis, as he tells us about effort.
It's free. Nobody can charge you for passion. Nobody can tell you what passion looks like because that's all about you. Effort is isolated. The reason why effort is isolated because nobody can dictate it. Effort is 100% in the mind. No coach, no player, nobody else can make you run to the ball. Nobody else can make you finish a tackle. Nobody else can do it. That's why it's the most isolated things in this earth right now. It's effort. And when you finally figure it out, how to win real battles, it's found through fundamentals. That's what wins championships. That's what wins battles. Blocking, tackling, until they get tired. Because you don't know what tired feels like.
Whoa, whoa. I just talked about effort. Hey, I say it all the time. Take care of the 4 or 5 things, the blocking and tackling of life. Hey, don't tell me you're tired. Tell me you're uninspired, baby, because that's where it's at right there. That's the real deal. Do your damn job. What part of this is mine? Where do I go in and start doing the work I know I need to do? Because you know what? If I handle my piece and I know I've got people on my team that are just like me, people like Capp right here, he's going to do his piece when he needs to. I don't have to look at him and say, hey, it's like I told him one time, man, I know you do those things. I don't have to see it. I know you do. It's just like I said with the people I hire. Same thing. I trust in what you're telling me, and I trust that what you're doing and what you do on a daily basis is done with heart, desire, dedication, and effort. And if you put those things in every day, you're never going to fail. It's not going to happen. It's impossible. That's what goes wrong with people is they stop giving any one of those things at any one time, and the rest of them just go with it. So I love Ray Lewis, man. I personally think that's fine. And I talked about passion a while, too. You were showing a little bit of passion a while ago, bro.
Hey, that's what I do, man, because nobody can dictate passion. Passion's between me and me, man. And sometimes I just get fired to fuck up, and I don't even think about it, right? Because I'm a passionate dude. Me and Mama Capp were talking about it last night. You know, I run on hot. I run type A. I am intense. That's what I fucking do. I've tried to stop. I've tried to slow down. I've tried to relax myself. It just can't fucking happen. I'm always moving. I'm always grooving. And that's between me and me. That ain't between nobody else. My effort, how I get up in the morning, how I push my toes in the ground, and how hard I choose to work is between me and me. I can go sit on that futon and take a nap at any point in the day. I don't answer to anybody. Nobody fucking pays my bills. Nobody tells me to get up in the morning. Nobody sets my schedule. It's on me. So if I want to sleep, if I want to take a nap, if I want to be lazy, that's on me too. Every ounce of effort, you know, JK said it last night, man, smacked me in the face. He looked right at me and he said, if you're not where you want to be, it's because you're fucking lazy. You can't put that on any single one of us. You got to show up and go to work. I said, well, golly, yeah, yeah, you're right. You're damn right. All it is just showing up and going to work. And he talked about fundamentals. Ray Lewis talked about fundamentals. And it's funny, JK said this to me when we had a call a couple of weeks back. He said, master the fundamentals, master the craft. Work on the fundamentals, work on the little things, cross the T's, dot the I's, and then one day you'll look up and you'll realize you're the best damn linebacker in the NFL. Maybe that's not what it is. Maybe you're the Michelin star chef. Maybe you're the best mechanic. Maybe you're the best bodybuilder. Maybe you're going to the Olympia this weekend, right? If you don't know, you won't know. Mr. Olympia this weekend. Shout out to Chris Bumstead, the legend. Saw him weighing in last night. One time, DEEZYY, his favorite guy. But, you know, Just master that fundamentals, master little things, master the weightlifting before you can even think about getting on a stage, right? Gosh, it's just about effort. How heavy do you want to go? Do you want to keep picking up the same weight over and over and over again, wondering why you're not getting stronger, wondering why you're not getting more definition? Or do you want to be a little crazy and go pick out the 100-pound dumbbells and try and take them for a ride? Yeah, you might not get them up. You might not even get them above your head. You know how many times I've done that and people have looked at me like, what the fuck's he doing? But at least I tried. I may have only half repped them and then dropped them, but at least I tried. At least I got them up. Now, next week, maybe I'm a little bit stronger. Maybe I'm a guy can get them 3/4 of the way. And then maybe a couple weeks after that, I can start repping them bitches, and they're easy money. And before, I was just afraid of them. But because I didn't have any failure on my mind, because I didn't think, no, you can't do that. All I thought was, you got to get better. I see people who can lift that. They make the Lamborghinis in order to buy them. I see people buying them. They make these heavy ass weights in order so people can pick them up. So how do I get stronger so I can pick that shit up? How do I make more money so I can buy that fucking Lambo? Well, actually, I don't want a fucking Lambo. We all know that. But how do I get better just so how can I get to that, right? View your life in that aspect. They make these things for this reason. They make these heavy ass weights to be picked up. How can I get strong enough to where I can pick that heavy ass weight up? They make this life difficult and challenging. How can I become smart enough, a super soldier, in order to overcome any obstacle that they throw in my path? It's that simple, man. It's that simple is what it comes down to. Hell yes. Let's go. 4 rules, 3 things. Mediocres versus high achievers, discipline versus talent, and a little bit of effort. Who's to say, who's to know? What a combo on the second segment of the day. There is your reaction refinery, my friends. So I suppose the only thing we have left to do is dive into the live chat, answer some questions, see what the people are saying, and then get this Friday started officially. So my friends, let's get into your final segment of the day. It's time for Answers from the Anvil. Okie dokie, my friends. It is time once again to dive into the live chat, see what the people are saying. As always, if you got a question or something burning on the brain, melting on the heart, festering on the soul that is on your brain while we're not on the show, and you want to have that question answered live in prime time, well, send us an email. You can send the emails to askfnf@thedhmgroup.io, and we'll bring your question right here to the show and answer it live in prime time. So if you got something on your brain over the weekend, you say, damn, I really wish I had Capp's perspective. Oh, man, I wish I could have some swirl thoughts on that one. Well, write it down, send it over in an email, and we'll answer it on Monday morning. Who's to say, who's to know? But this morning's show, we're going to be diving into the live chat. I saw some questions over there. I've also seen some good perspectives. I've seen some things popping out all morning long. DEEZYY, Mr. Producer, give us something, my guy. What do we got out there today? Jeff Oglesby says, my question for the day, when is Fox going to pick up this show and have FNF Morning Show on live TV?
When we stop dropping F-bombs.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true. No more fucks, no more shits, no more dams.
Just saying, bro.
It is what it is. Hey, well, the McAfee show kind of figured it out. I mean, they still got the fuck bombs every once in a while. They got a nice fuck counter up there. Who's to say, who's to know? They try their best, but I don't ever want to listen to any corporate stooges. I don't want any corporate stooges telling me what the hell I got to do. There's a reason I don't work in corporate America anymore, you know? So I'm trying not to have no corporate stooges tell me how I got to run this show. Who's to say, who's to know? Maybe we find an alternative station. Shout out Jeff Oglesby. We appreciate the love, brother. God made pigeons and eagles for a reason. Who are you? Says Mr. G. Lou. Oh,
shout out
man.
My Perkins the other day when I was around. I went 3 of us to a car show. They both won trophies. I didn't, and I know why I didn't, because I didn't put my doors up. If I had put my doors up, it'd have been over. I'm telling you, and I know that because the car that won over me had their doors up, and I just didn't feel like opening my doors. Right. So anyway, that's besides the point. Yeah, it's all right. So I turn around and I'm telling Perkins, I was telling him, he goes, well, your car was better. I said, here's the bottom line. I don't care. I'm glad that the people around me are winning, because me, I'm not going to do anything with that trophy anyway. He goes, here's the bottom line. Just be happy you're soaring with eagles.
Shout out fucking Perkins, man. Ah, what a legend. What a legend. Shout out
he is
to
a
Perkins.
legend, man. He's a legend.
5,000 bonsai trees. Who's to say, who's to know?
Hey, billion dollars.
Bro, you got to tell him tune in to the end of this show. Say we shout out Perk. We appreciate you, big man. All love to you. Tell him to tune in to the end. He can figure out YouTube. He might not be able to figure out his little monkey man in his wallet, but he can figure out fucking YouTube. Come on, Perk. What's the hell?
Shout out Perkins, man.
Let's go, baby. What else we got out there, D's? JK Small Time says,
yeah, that's right. Not everyone makes the team.
Ooh, if that's the truth, man, you got to be willing to make the cut so you can make the cut. Ooh, how about that? Derek Snow says, Capp and Swirl, what's one situation or time in your life you've had to shuffle the deck, and what are some things that helped you make it through? Whew.
Man, I've shuffled the deck over and over again. I usually force that hand. Truly, I do. And the biggest thing about it is I don't worry about what everybody else has because I know this. It's not going to change my hand. So I just play the hand the best of my ability, baby. That's what it is. And I've done that over and over and over again. And that comes down to, I mean, hell, I'm even doing it right now. There's things I'm fixing right now where I'm like, well, here's what we got to fix. And this is what I got to do. And you know what? Sometimes, the proverbial belt's got to be tightened up in order to make some certain things happen. And regardless of what that is, that means I can't have the cupcake. That means I can't go buy the coffee. That means, hey, I can't go to the brunches or whatever it might mean. Sometimes you just got to do those things.
I've had to shuffle the deck a lot too, over and over and over again in life. And I suppose the biggest ones for me were either one of my businesses, either DHMG or Talking the Line. And, I guess DHMG, since we're here, it makes the most sense. I had created Diamond Hand Radio and had a podcast and had the door show and was going back and forth and guesting on spaces and helping people sell out their NFTs and yeehaw, hey, I'm making content. This is great. Awesome. Wonderful. We're just going to keep making this content company. Oh shit. I found some guys. They make good shows too. Oh, hey, let's call this Diamond Hand Media Group. Let's all get together. Let's make some content. Here we go. Hi ho, Silver. We start making the shows, and then all these guys start realizing how hard it is to be a content creator, how hard it is to be an entrepreneur, how hard it is to show up each and every day when you're not getting the results that you think you deserve. And they all decided to dip out. And here I was left with an LLC, left with a company, left with all this shit. What the fuck do I do? So I took them cards. It was like 52 card pickup. I done threw that fucking deck across the room, watched them fly every which direction. I said, shit. So then one at a time, I just started picking up those cards. We shuffled them up. Got them around, and then I started looking around who was around me. The Swirls, the Deezies, the Glues, the Opens, the Live Dogs, the Chris Ahumadas, the Angels, and we just started dealing cards. We say, hey, you motherfuckers want to play? You want to be a part of this? I think I got an idea. I don't know if it's going to work, but I think I got an idea. Hey, just take these cards, play the cards, we'll see where it goes. It just got bigger, better, faster, and stronger. And maybe we've had to reshuffle in an area like with this show. Java and Jams was just a space, and we felt so siloed and secluded, and all of a sudden we make a simple change to shuffle the deck and come live in prime time and change from Java and Jams to Forge and Fuel, and now we get 100+ viewers live every single day. We couldn't even sniff 30 before. So, sometimes it's uncomfortable to shuffle that deck, but man, I tell you, the more you do, the more you're willing to pivot, the more opportunities you're going to have to continue to pioneer. Who's to say, who's to know? What else we got on the show, DWEZYY? Debbie Esther says, great morning, fam. We have hit Friday. What are you going to do to unplug from your electronics? Well, this weekend, I'm spending some time with Mama Capp. I'm going to take her out for a little
That's right. She's there right there, right? She's watching the whole show from the background. She's in the green room.
Oh, she's got the whole big old TV popped on out there, probably. She got the 55 watching our smiling faces. Just, I know she's all out. She's hanging out with Matilda. You should hear Matilda. Matilda don't give a fuck about me anymore. Grandma shows up for the weekend, and it's just, she don't fucking, she hates me. It's all grandma now. I don't, okay, for sure. See you later,
Emotional damage.
It's kind of how I'm feeling. It's pretty much where I'm at right now. Kind of fucking sucks. So, yeah, I'm going to do that. I'm going to, when I'm around family, when I'm around friends, when I'm just around people, I just stay off my phone. That's why I mentioned it last night. Like, I might be a little MIA just across the board. I just don't think about posting. I don't think I'm in the present moment, and I just care about the people that I'm with. So I know you're always unplugging, Swirl. What about you?
Well, first off, like tonight, I'm going to hit the DJ party. That unplugs me because I can't be into my electronics. I know it's electronic, but still, it does help. Also, I am going to jump in the car this weekend and take a ride. Don't know where or how or what, but I'm going to go for a nice drive and have that gratitude because I don't get on my electronics while I'm driving. I don't text or call people. I just
you mean you don't text while driving your McLaren in the rain while hydroplaning over a bridge? You mean you don't?
Why would I do some stupid shit like that?
That's not a good idea.
You know what's
That's not a
crazy
good
about
idea.
that?
Huh?
Why did you sideline me like this? I saw that video, and so there are a couple things about that video. That's the same car I have, okay? And so let me tell you right now, I never, ever text in that car. And I've said it a million times. There's too much going on. The car is just, you cannot do that. I've got a spot where my phone sits and it magnet stuck. It does not move. And I only use it for GPS. Like, I do not call people. If you call me, I'm like, hey, I gotta go. I'm driving. Like, I tell you right away, like, too much happening, right? And this guy, what an idiot, driving, filming, texting, raining in the left lane. I mean, you're in the left lane. You're insane if you don't know how roads are built. The roads are built like this, just so you know.
And you can literally hear him as soon as he gets to the base of the fucking bridge. Like, did you really just step on the accelerator while it's raining on a bridge? I mean, do you know the definition of hydroplaning, or like, what the fuck is wrong? Like, what are we talking about right now? Like, how stupid are we? I immediately said to DZ, I said, DZ, now do you understand why people don't drive supercars in the rain? It's not because they don't want to get their paint job fucked up. He said, oh,
that reason right
there. Yeah. Dumbass. Do you realize how hard it is how easy it is to hydroplane a fucking supercar in the first place? Fuck, it can be dry and it's easy to hydroplane.
It'll come out from underneath you. That's why I always check the weather. You check the weather.
Especially McLarens. Especially fucking McLarens. Fucking Andrew Tate said it. He says you should have a special license just to be able to drive a fucking McLaren. They're fucking psycho. They're psycho.
They're insane. Fast. And they will get out from under you quick. You got to know what you're doing.
Take it from the guy who drives one. Jeepers.
I'm just telling you.
I'm just trying to tell you guys. Just trying to give you a little advice. Hey, I knew it was going to fire you up. Who's to say, who's to know? That was good. What else we got out there, D's? Great morning from GP. Super Soldiers 1%. Let's spread that PLP today. You know that's the only choice, GP. Let's go. Appreciate you being in here this morning. Who else we got? D's. Another one from JK. I knew his triggers were going to be tripped this morning. It's not even about playing the cards. It's about playing the player. Which player are you playing? Don't hate the player, hate the game. Yeah, baby. Shout out, Mr. Metal. Appreciate you, guy. Who else we got out there? DEEZYY. I see some other comments coming in right now, right off the bat. JK, another one. Always bet on yourself. Oh, baby, you better believe it. I've been seeing it. I'm telling you, JK was fired up in the chat this morning. Who's to say, who's to know? Also, I see Radio Free Hub City down there at the bottom. Pop those up there. The biggest lesson I learned is always have a backup plan when other people are involved. We lost our main content provider 6 months after founding. Now our content is doing amazing, better than theirs. Hell yeah. Always have a backup plan and always get that shit in writing. I don't give a fuck who it is. I don't care who it is. It doesn't matter if it's me and Swirl. We make sure that shit is solid. Cross the T's, dot the I's. Okay, we're good. Everything's fucking straight. If that person can't sign a contract, can't sign the dotted line, isn't okay with, getting shit on paper, you don't need to do business with them anyway. Let them walk, let them get out. And if they don't want to show you your face, if they don't want to be a real life humming bean, you don't need to do business with them either, my friends. Just some simple little thoughts, some things I've learned over my time here in Web3. Who's to say, who's to know, baby? Oh, Fox. Fox doesn't even deserve this show. You're damn right. I don't want to be part of that legacy media pulling out all that bullshit and lying and nonsense. Even if that is the conservative side of things, they still be lying. Bunch of sons of bitches over there anyhow. Anybody else we got out there? DEEZYY. I don't see any other questions, any other hot comments, anything. I'll do a quick scroll. Jared Albright, got to do more. 1% every day. Can't stop, won't stop. I am not lazy. Bitch, get it done. You are unstoppable. You are a grown-ass man. You can do anything you put your mind to. Woo! That got me fired up right there. Come on. Just kept putting them back to back. Voodoo! What's up, baby? Good to see Voodoo in the chat. Sometimes you have to play the cards you dealt in order to know how to maneuver in the next hand. Just don't let the reshuffle define you. Yeah. Come on, Voodoo. Shout out to you, brother. He gets it. This guy gets it. Shout out to all you amazing humming beings, man. Appreciate you being in the live chat. Appreciate you asking some questions, keeping it going and flowing all morning, making it a great chat to be a part of. I've been reading it all morning long. You guys are fired up in there. Shout out to each and every one of you, man. I appreciate you so much. What a great show. There's your sharpening session. We talked about shuffling the deck, taking the gamble, gave you a little gambler lyrics. Reaction Refinery. We got 4 rules, 3 things from Coach Lou Holtz, mediocres and high achievers from the legendary Nick Saban, a little discipline and talent from Gary Vee, and some effort from Ray Lewis. Answered your questions, got some additional perspective from the live audience. So, my friends, it appears we only have a few things left to do. Hit it, D's. Damn, he wasn't ready today. Bummer. Hit it, D's. Give me something good. It's a nice vibe. I like that vibe. Well, my friends, another episode of Forge and Fuel has came and went. We gave you some sharpening sessions. We gave you some refineries of the reaction variety. And we gave you some answers straight from the Anvil. Hope you're feeling good. I hope you're feeling great. Ooh, let that beat hit, baby. One time. Hope you've been feeling real good about this show. Hope we got you ready to turn some obstacles into opportunities. Maybe some losses into lessons. Or even one of them old failures. Just a brand new chance to flourish. I got a few reminders for you. But not before I kick it over to my co-host with the Mo-O, so DJ Swirl One. Hey, Swirly D, you got any final comments? Closing thoughts or perspectives? Any reminders or anything in between here for episode 587 of Forge and Fuel? Hey, I should be a radio DJ or something.
I got nothing. I feel like I need to bring out I need to get my microphone and bring it closer so I can do the DJ voice as well. Hey, I appreciate everybody being here today. Forge and Fuel, one of the best ways that I can think of to even start your day. It's been a great morning this morning with the combos. Appreciate everybody in the live chat today. Hey, if you wouldn't mind, please give us a rating. Hey, do us a favor. Share the show. Hey, maybe hit a like, repost. Let somebody know, hey, I heard that here this morning. Check out this new show I woke up to. It is amazing. Forge and Fuel. These two guys, man, they get me fired up. Hopefully that's how you feel about it. Appreciate everybody. This weekend, do yourself a favor. Go get some sun. Go get some water. Get some movement in and disconnect from those electronics. We all need some time away. So get out from underneath the blue lights. Okay. So there you go. Last thing I would say is I'll see you tonight. Twitch stream, Be Live in the Greens. We're going to be doing it tonight. Having a great night. Who's to say, who's to know? Maybe another mix coming out of tonight. You never know if I hit the record button or not. We'll see how I feel. But with that being said, it's been a great week on Forge and Fuel. I want to thank Capp, DZ, and everybody that showed up this week that has been supporting us, liking the content. Appreciate you sharing it out there. I'm Swirl One, and I'm out. TGIF, baby. Thank Grandpa. It's Friday. Come on. You know where it's at, because you know where we're going to be tonight. Grandpa, baby. Cut yourself.
With your grandma, get it on the green, feeling in the spleen, and we know she on the green. Party at the country club, all the other haters fall asleep on the haters.
Money in the mattress, money in the cabinet. Yeah, it's still spicy, but you know I
gotta have it.
You take, got it working like magic, falling like Jordan.
Gator board action.
Waiting for the time, I get M3. See your grandma at the club, she get plenty. She be talking to the thugs, trying to get me. GACC,
baby, I'm rapping.
I be on the
time. I know you wanna grind out. Meet me at the country club for a time now.
We get wild when we talk shit.
Grandpa,
bitch, no stop it.
Stop it.
Oh,
hey.
Sweat.
Man, you know we up next, man. When we talk shit. Come on, keep it these. I gotta hear it. Come on. If you verify, so you know we up next. Hey, where did all my teeth go? Saw your grandma looking straight through the peephole. She gonna make me miss bingo. If you don't get that, if you don't get that in your man, if you aren't screaming that with that kabang, come on. Shout out Kid Sound. We appreciate the hell out of you guys giving us those vibes there at the end of the show. Shout out to the Grandpa Ape Country Club. Don't you know? Shout out Swirl One. We appreciate you, my guy. Thanks for all the fire this morning, all the perspectives, all the good stuff. Thanks for another electric week, man. We did some growing this week, baby. Wouldn't have been without you, my man. Appreciate all your love, all your support, everything you do here for DHMG and Forge and Fuel. Have a fantastic Friday, my guy, because you deserve it. As for all you humming beans out there, watching the show live in prime time. As a reminder, Swirl said it, but I'll give you some times because he went through it quickly. TGIF, GACC Spaces, tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. specifically, hosted from the Grandpa Ape CCX account. Promptly following that, about 9:30 p.m. Eastern, 6:30 p.m. specific, as soon as he decides to hit that, let's go! You are now tuned into the mix. One of them, one time for the one time. You know, when you hear that, you know it's about to go down. Or, you know, little...
Swirl One.
Who's to say, who's to know? We'll see you there. I'll have my banana hammock on. I'll be standing on top of the DJ booth doing a little something like this. Who's to say, who's to know? So we'll see you over there. Hey, we was dancing on the DJ booth. I was dancing on the DJ booth. Sorry. Also, if you haven't got into Gateway, make sure you hop into Gateway today. Start your 7-day free trial today. Who's to say, who's to know? You might have missed the networking meeting last night, but you can show up today and hop in the channel. Get joined with us, hang out, vibe with us, maybe learn something, maybe grow mentally, maybe grow physically. Maybe come soar with the Eagles and grow financially too. You look around DHMG, all you're going to see, all you're going to know is more Eagles flying around. Shout out to all of those Eagles out there in the Diamond Ham fam. Also, if you like this merch, you like Swirl's merch, you like this merch, hey, well, you can pick it up yourself. You can go to Mine and Shine Apparel, see it down there in the description. Don't know why I couldn't think of description. You can also find the GACC Pro Shop right down there in the description. And you can find all of the pertinent links for everything DHMG, anything in between, whatever you need, it's down there, baby. And then, outside of that, just so you remember, if you haven't already and you could find it in your big old heart to do so, maybe you could hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, hit a like button on YouTube, hit that like, hit that repost on X, hit a share, hit a like on Facebook. Maybe leave us a rating on Spotify or Apple. Maybe even give us a follow over there. Or whatever you got to do. Just don't be a hoe. Share the show. Be a friend, tell a friend. Let the people know! Because this is what the world needs right now. Woo! They need a little love. They need a little perspective. They need a little shifting of the mindset because there is some wild shit going on in the world right now. If we stay this way, then we're going to be doing it right, baby. So, my friends, there are your reminders. We'll see you on the greens tonight, or maybe in TGIF GACC Spaces. Yes, the DJ party is on Twitch now. If you guys don't know, you won't know. It is under @Swirl1. Is that right?
Yes. Oh,
just @Swirl1?
/Swirl1, I think is how it looks.
Okay. Yeah. Twitch.com/Swirl1. All one word, SWIRLONE. Swirl1. Who's to say, who's to know? So, yes, you can view it on Twitch, too, if you do not have a GACC, because you need to have a Grandpa Ape in order to dive into the greens, in order to get into GACC Radio Live, in order to be able to even hear the damn show. So, if you don't have one of those, maybe you're a member of the Diamond Hand Media Group, maybe get you a GACtivity pass, maybe get you in there for one time only. Who's to say, who's to know? Or you can just tune in live on Twitch. Tell all your friends. Maybe you get some people together. Maybe you play the music for the evening. Maybe you get some drinks. You get some vitamins. And Swirl1's helping you move and groove. And maybe Swirl1 can even give you a little shout out. You know, make you feel all special around your friends. You know, hey, listen what I can do. Who's to say, who's to know? But my friends, that's all I got. That's the show. Get that thing out of here. I got no mas, no mo. Other than to please ask you that as we close the door of this week and we open the door of the weekend, I ask you would leave all the trials and tribulations from this past week at the doorway and burst through chasing nothing but triumphs. Please use this weekend to build the life you've been dreaming about, not escape the one you're currently living. Remember that you are kind, you are smart, you are important, and you are loved. Go hold the dough. Share your smile with somebody. Be the difference in the change, the light in their day. And also remember that number one, even a 2-year-old can make an excuse. Number two, even a dead fish can go with the flow. And number 3, being that this here show is a member of the Diamond Hand Media Group, I ask you keep in mind that DHMG. We don't only HOLD, we hold each other up. And right now is one hell of a time to flex those diamond hands. Shout out to each and every one of you flexing those diamond hands on a day in and day out, night in and night out basis. We appreciate you from the bottom of our hearts. Thank you for always being in my corner, in this Swirl's corner, and most importantly, in each other's corner. Also, thanks for being in Deezy's corner. We can't forget about Mr. Producer, because without Mr. Producer, we wouldn't have this show going as good as it is, flowing as well as it is. So shout out to DEEZYY. If you don't know, you won't know. The producer of Forge and Fuel. Shout out to each and every one of you who help us push this forward every single day. Thanks for showing up. Thanks for investing your time here. You could invest it 1,000,001 other places. And the fact that you do here, we are forever grateful. We'll continue to pay it back to you by showing up each and every day on the consistent, persistent pursuit of our passions and being right by your side while you pioneer yours, baby. For now, my friends, we bid thee adieu. We thank you for showing up, getting your day started the right way, getting fired up at Forge and Fuel, baby. But for now, we say, see you later. Hope you have a fantastic rest of your Friday. We'll catch you same time, same place, Monday morning, Forge and Fuel, episode 588. But for DEEZYY, Mr. Producer, the co-host with the Mo-Os, DJ Swirl One, and yours truly, COLTCAPPIN, Stroker, Cap, Colt, whatever the hell you want to call me. For all of us here at Forge and Fuel, that's the show today. We can't thank you enough for tuning in, baby. And we ask that you always remember that we got your back. We're right by your side, and we'll always be grinding with you till the damn day we die. But for now, my friends, as always, peace
and love.